We are Kingston Entertainment, and we're proud to present our newest project, A War of Purity and Malice.
A story that takes place in a mighty kingdom from the 1400s that has been fighting a generational war against mutant creatures from a corrupted land, where their last hope lies in the hands of an inexperienced young man who has a mysterious and vital immunity to these creatures.
Let's take a closer look at the world that we've developed. Starting with our characters, this is Hayes Lawson, our main character who yearns to be part of the war but spent his life kept away from fighting. He was raised by Cosmo, the general of the kingdoms, whose life goal is to defeat the Malikations and protect Hayes at all costs.
The great enemy of humanity are the Malikations, mindless creatures with motivation to harm others and want nothing but the sin they are most guilty of. They are formed after death and hold energy unable to be destroyed.
So now we're going to go over the story. Starting in the nowhere points, where a young Cosmo, along with other Soul Crusaders, find a baby Hayes Lawson in the midst of a Malication horde. A horde that's so strong that only Cosmo, with the young Hayes in his arms, can make it out alive.
We jump to the present where we find a grown-up Hayes and Cosmo. We see Hayes trying to weave his way into a mission to fight against Malikations, but as usual, Cosmo catches him and prevents him from facing harm.
But when Hayes has an unexpected encounter with the Malikations in the city walls, everyone discovers his immunity to these creatures, so Cosmo has no choice but to let him fight with them, for his ability could be the key to defeating the Malikations for good.
Throughout the series, the nowhere points and the Malikations will get closer and closer to the kingdoms, so Hayes must learn a battle with Cosmo. He gradually discovers where he actually came from, which enables him to unlock special powers from the nowhere points that he never knew was there. Through the various encounters and missions, we learn that the nowhere point is held together by a fallen god who created it, and by defeating this god, they can stop the nowhere points from growing.
The show culminates in a giant battle where the entire kingdom's army is sent to nowhere points to find the fallen god and defeat him for good. But they're met with a monstrous horde of Malikations who push them all the way back to their kingdom, where they find their towns and cities destroyed.
So Cosmo and Hayes make one final pursuit into nowhere, where they reach the fallen god using Hayes' power and Cosmo's stealth. And in a 2-on-1 fight between Cosmo, Hayes, and the giant fallen god, they realize that this god cannot be killed because he gains energy from the nowhere point.
So, they defeat him by having Cosmo detach him from nowhere so that Hayes can replace him. Cosmo gives the defeating blow to the fallen god, and Hayes permanently becomes the center of nowhere, where with his powers he can hold it together and prevent malice from spreading outside.
This story went through a couple of revisions. In earlier versions, Cosmo and Hayes met for the first time at the end of Act 1, and to our surprise, the first audience we presented to suggested having a romance between the two. And while this didn't exactly match our vision, it revealed that the audience wanted a meaningful relationship between our two main characters. So we revised by having Cosmo raise Hayes as a child, giving him a paternal role in Hayes' story. The note that we addressed more specifically was that audiences wanted clearer personal motivations of the characters. So we made Cosmo overprotective of Hayes, and made Hayes excluded from the fighting and seeking responsibility and glory.
This made Hayes' sacrifice more significant because it could only happen after Cosmo trusted Hayes to make his own decisions, and Hayes learned that responsibility doesn't always come with glory, making for more of a complex story with multiple arcs.
We are Kingston Entertainment.